Hi, welcome to Echoes and Edges, the Broken and Beautiful podcast. I'm so glad you're here. I'm Patria, the founder of The Broken and Beautiful. I'm a story and Enneagram coach, and I love to help people weave parts of themselves back together, gently, with skill. Part of being skilled means having many tools in the toolbox of care. I have many, from Allender training to Enneagram training and a whole bunch in between. Far and away, though, one of the most useful tools that I have found is the Enneagram. Why? Because the Enneagram is set up to provide not only information, but pathways for transformation. It's not complicated. It's not easy, but it's not complicated, and it provides a simple way of recognizing why reactivity shows up when and how it does for us. So we're offering you a series on the 9 types, short, simple, and to the point, to help you get started using the Enneagram in a practical way. On today's episode, we'll be talking about Type 8. So moving on to Type 8, the protectors, they're the challengers, they're sometimes thought of as the leaders or those in authority. They tend to show up with a lot of impact. And their defense system has a lot to do with control, and it's different than Type 6s. Sometimes 6s look very controlling as well, but 8s do it for different reasons. And it's to kind of take over, and that passion makes them very intense, and they kind of just take over, and they push forward like that. They push forward to sort of like, who's leading here? Nobody? Fine, I'll do it. But they do that to avoid the vulnerability of their insecurities or weakness of emotions or even more tender emotions. And so 8s can then take charge very quickly when they feel the slightest hint of threat. Ro, how do you see that protective instinct working in family settings?
I think, like you said, I think an 8 needs to not diminish themselves with the balance, holding containment, that energy. So I'll tell you a positive side.
Yeah.
My firstborn is an 8, and when we're all together, it's pretty chaotic.
Yeah.
And just different personalities, like nobody's really trying to channel some of these kids' energy into something productive instead of just helter-skelter. And she brings crafts, and she will, in a moment, gather those kids, like, okay, let's go. And she has them sitting down, and she's got them all doing different kind of crafts, and it brings peace. But again, it's that nobody's gonna. Mom's not doing it. Other people's personality are not there to wrangle the cats.
Yep.
But she's very comfortable in that. So that's the positive thing. And again, people can say, "Oh, they're bossy." No, they're taking that energy and making some order to chaos. And that's a beautiful thing that 8 can do. I do think when it's toward themselves and they feel seen in a way they're not comfortable and vulnerable, that's when you can see the wrong side of the energy coming toward a group of people. If they're just naming something, but that vulnerability feeling exposed, that's very hard. I think the 8s can do this energy out there and manage people and do it well, and it not be controlling. I think it's when it's toward them and people are coming toward them in a way that makes them uncomfortable. Sometimes that reaction is big because it's protection.
And it meaning people getting a little too close to the inside of their squishy marshmallow hearts. Is that kind of what you're...
And have a window into the soul and almost start to name it. And
Walls up.
Just that walls
Yeah.
up. Mm-hmm. Walls up, stay out. And the problem is it can come at you with a bit of a force.
Yes.
That they don't know it's coming as a force, but it's their wall. It's just very few people get to see that tender side of it. Very few people.
That's right.
And so they will be very particular who they let.
I really appreciate the way you talked about the wall that comes up, because it's for eights, again, we're talking about breathing. These are just unconscious patterns. And for the type 8, that wall comes up if there's a sense of, too close, too much. It's a little bit 5-ish there. And 8s do have a 5, line to 5. Anytime that feeling of being vulnerable really, really unless they really trust you, or are open, like asking a question, then they're in control of that, right? But so the walls come up, but what they don't realize is what exactly what you just said, that it comes up and it pushes out. And it's an energetic thing. Obviously, this is just an energy thing. And a lot of times I'll ask 8s, are you aware of the impact you have? And they don't know. 8s, oftentimes without growth and awareness, they really, really don't know. So how does softness, if that's the right word, maybe vulnerability, or maybe heart, emotions, how does that begin to emerge when trust is present? So you say you are one of these people that 8s invite in. How does that emerge? How have you seen that emerge?
I think it's a long testing. I have an 8 daughter and a 6 daughter. They're very, very different, but in some ways they're very similar.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's the similar of testing. Are you safe? I think an 8 wants to feel respected. Do you respect me for who I am? You don't want to change me. You're not intimidated by me. Just, can you receive all of me? And if you can receive all of me and you've earned my trust, that you're not coming in too hard. Now, you can imagine the dance my daughter and I have as a 2 and an 8. We laugh. We just say, God had a sense of humor. She taught
She's your
me
oldest,
that.
you said.
She's my firstborn oldest, who hasn't needed me since she's 3.
Yeah.
We just joke about it. But it's been a level of us growing for her to be able to trust to let me in. But they don't let you in those vulnerable places. I mean, husband, maybe parents, a couple good friends. But you have to have patience, I think, to be in relationship. But when you see it, it's deep.
Yes.
And it's beautiful. And there is such a tenderness. And that's what part of me, I just want to go, let it out. Because it's really they're very tender. And that's where that protective mama bear, whether it's for them, I mean, they're so justice oriented.
Yes.
Because it's that tenderness. It's that energy that helps them be that. But to let that down for your children and for your family members, that's just a big work for an 8.
If this episode resonates with you, follow or subscribe to Echoes and Edges on your favorite podcast platform. Leave a 5-star review and share with a friend who might need a gentle invitation to self-understanding. Echoes and Edges is produced and edited by Stephen R. Sanders. Music promoted by Envato. Echoes and Edges is part of the Vivid Livid Podcast Network, where bruises speak and healing finds its voice.